Today we're here in Olden, Norway. It's one of the year not fun.
Well, you can keep talking. It's not like your voice is going to go away. This whole town started from that little cabin back in 1870, I believe, 1875. The gold was found on the peaks. That's called Odin. Because Odin is different than Olden. Odin is, who's the Odin? Very fortunate not to have rain today.
Well, you say that, look right over there.
Said there was an 80% chance.
It's coming. Do you not feel the rain right now?
I don't feel the rain.
Look, right there on my camera, you can see.
Good thing we're close to the ship.
You see the rain right there?
Yeah, perhaps we should pick up our pace a bit. The ship is in sight. Here, good morning.
Hey,
How you doing?
It's a video?
It's a video.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you from New York?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
So hush, little baby, don't you cry. You heard the true story, now you can see them in action, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see her? I'm sitting here, I'll take you from here. And it goes like this. Take it by the tongue and go fly. Kiss me till you come and I still feel like Jagger. I don't even try to control you. Just look into my eyes and I love you. Yeah.
Belfast lunch.
Okay, fantastic. Good job. Good video.
Actually, this is built in 1932, the tail end of a world recession. Back then we were very wealthy, with some of the largest industries in the world, and the building cost 1.7 million. If you wanted to build this today, you'd have to spend nearly, somewhere in the region of just over 300 million pounds. That's a lot of money. Now the murals on the left and right here represent peace and war. On the right there you'll see the Opera House before the sidewalk. On the right is the most bombed hotel in Europe. It used to be the most bombed hotel in the world, that's the Europa. It was bombed 38 times during a conflict. It's all the University Hall in This stop is number 15, we're going to stop here in London. It's an English Gothic Victorian building made of red Belfast brick. Not too many buildings like this around the world. Queens is a
The Great Hall at Queen's University.
So that's the 1916 Easter Rising. We're coming up to stop number 18. It's outside the Sinn Féin offices here. Bobby Sands. He was the first hunger striker to die. He died on the 5th of May 1981. The hunger strike happened because the British government removed political status from the prisoners, told them they were nothing but common criminals. They said, no, we're going to go on hunger strike until we get that status back. They did. 10 men died in the hunger strike. During the same period of time, 13 prison officers were shot dead on the outside of the prison, in the streets, and many others died during the violence surrounding that period. So, a particularly sad time in our history, the hunger strike of 1981, to literally come into an area, drive through in a car and shoot the area up, or take bombs through and throw bombs into an area, or come in and shoot a pub up. Those gates are placed in the quickest in and out areas between the Catholic and the Protestant area. So the security forces and the police came up with the idea of putting in gates that would be locked at night. So if anyone wanted to commit a murder or an attack, they'd have to go the long way around. They'd think twice about it because they might be caught by the cops or by the army, and it lessened the possibility of these random attacks which were occurring with great frequency. So there is the other side of the gates, right? So they were locked earlier, and they'll be open tomorrow in the morning. And as you can see, immediately as you come through the gates, the walls change. The stuff on the walls is about Britain and its military history. Okay? This area is known effectively as no man's land. This area used to be home to many, many people, and in the very early days of the conflict, what happened was that the houses and streets were all burnt. There were 7,500 houses burnt out in Belfast. There were 30,000 people displaced. Many stood up with only their clothes on their backs. What effectively was happening was a form of ethnic cleansing, and it was done to leave us with the Belfast that we have now, a Belfast that's divided by peace walls and gates that lock at night. You'll see in a moment these yellow gates on my left. Well, they're yellow on the other side of them. Those gates are traditionally always kept closed on a Sunday. Tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning, the worker will come and open them, and they'll stay open until 7 at night. This wall is one of 92 peace walls in Belfast. This is the most imposing. It's the longest, and indeed it's the most significant one. It's been here in some shape or form for more than 45 years. It is 40 in height, and it is over 2 miles long. So, through that wall to the left is the Catholic community of the Falls Road. Over here on the right, the Protestant community of the Shankill Road. Those two guys we've just passed, they're both ex-prisoners, both members of the IRA. They drive taxis and give taxi tours in this area. So there's a spin-off, you know, of the organisation. I'm going to tell you a story about the wall. Within the last 18 months, the government, actually the last 2 years, the government commissioned a poll of 3,000 people. Half the people in the Falls Road, the other half in the Shankill Road. They were all asked one very simple question: do you wish the wall to stay in place, or would you like to see it come down? Now there is peace in Belfast and there's peace across Northern Ireland, of that there's no doubt. But in these areas, the goodwill, the trust and the reconciliation has not been built up. And in answering the question, 73% of people want the wall to stay in place. So there you have it. And as we come up to this junction, have a look up to the left. There's another section there. That goes for 2 miles up there, and those gates in the middle of the street, they'll be closed tonight at 7 o'clock. Just coming right now onto the Shankill Road, it is home to the Protestant Unionist Loyalist community. You will not doubt the allegiance of this community by the time you get to the end of the road. Just into the left, that's the start of the construction of a bonfire. These bonfires will rise to about 60 to 80 feet, and they're lit on the 11th night of July. And placed on top of them will be the Irish flag, the green, white and orange, and images of Gerry Adams or Martin McGuinness or other Republican leaders. So that's another reason why the wall's there too. 2 murals here on the left, one facing the other. Those guys, and it's a tribute to them, their names are all on the wall. They were all killed in the conflict. Facing it, another mural. So that is, and this is, the Shankill Road. Down here on the left, the Court Credit Union building. That's a sign of the 1993 Shankill Road fish shop bombing. That was Frizzell's fish shop in 1993, just in there to my left now. The IRA believed that the upstairs rooms were being used by the Ulster Defence Association, a paramilitary loyalist group, to make plans and to meet for the killing of Catholics. So they sent a team in there. Their brief was to clear the shop out of staff and customers, and then when it was clear, leave a bomb which would kill the Army Council. The information was incorrect. The meeting was in another building. The bomb exploded prematurely. 10 people were killed. Here on my left, loyalism between the two buildings. Again on the left, the Queen, the Royal Family, the UK flags. Over there on the left. Over on the right, in a minute, the flags are fluttering above this commemorative garden in there. And at the end of the Iceland story, you'll see the very last mural. That mural is particularly scathing of Republicans and paints them in a very, very bad light. So that's the Shankill Road. I did mention about the bombing there at the Court Credit Union. It killed 10 people. It was an absolutely terrible atrocity. But in the aftermath of that bombing, 18 Catholics were shot dead on these streets in the next 2 weeks. And that brought the place really to the brink of civil war. That was 1993. So I remember that time well. And in my mind's eye, it's not that long ago. And it was not a pretty time, I can assure you. So as you've seen on our drive through Belfast, this is a very segregated city. Large tracts of Belfast are home either to thousands of Catholics or thousands of Protestants. 21 years after the agreement has been signed, sometimes we look as though we've made no progress whatsoever.
wonderful. Glad to be here.